passion, man. I love this sport. You know, it's not a question for me. This is what I do. This is what I have to do. If I stop competing tomorrow, not much is going to change in my daily routine. I'm still going to train. I'm still going to eat my meals. If you're doing this, you got to understand your why of what you do in your life, regardless if it's bodybuilding, your career, whatever, is more important than anything else. If you're doing this for the wrong reasons, for a sponsor or Instagram fame, there was no Instagram when I started or when Jay was at his height, you know, so if you're not doing this for the right reason, which is pure passion, you'll fail and you won't be your best. I've always been a huge eater. I watch these guys eat and I used to eat like them. I used to eat grits because I saw Ronnie doing it. I definitely overate and got fat. So shrink your stomach. Eat smaller meals and just suffer until you deal with it. It's mind over matter, man. Meditate. Don't stay at home. For me, a lot of people say it's hard to have a job and compete. I think it's hard to sit home and compete because all you want to do is eat. Whereas when I'm out and about and busy, sometimes 3 hours and 20 minutes will go by and I'm like, oh wow, I missed my meal. But when I'm at home, I'm counting the minutes, man. So just keep busy. Are you in the beginning of your prep? Yeah. It'll get a little bit easier, you know, but you got to be a little sick in the head. You got to be a little sick in the head for the sport, and you got to just tough it out. Sometimes I wish there was a shortcut or secret I could give you guys, but, you know, you got to just rough it out and suffer a bit, brother.
Pro cards at? Yeah, universe. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Lagging body parts, definitely prioritize those. So, you know, I remember, you know, when I started training a guy, really big legs fast, but I didn't have calves, and my sister pointed that out. She said, your legs are really big and your calves are small, so it discouraged me a lot. So I actually started to prioritize. So in my routine, and you can read up on all my information all over the internet, I always went in the gym, I did calf training on chest day. I trained it like every other body part, but I would do calf training before I started training chest, so I didn't kind of slack on that body part because it was secondary, right? But I think, you know, more effort towards the weaker parts and less on the stronger parts. So if you have smaller arms and your shoulders are really powerful, that's going to hinder yourself if you're a competitive person. So you need to lay off the shoulders a little bit and prioritize the arm training. That could be more than once a week. I always train body parts once every 5 to 7 days. I believe that you need 72 hours between a body part before you train it again. And unlike Arash, I was a volume trainer, so I always focused 8 to 12 repetitions. I did 20 sets for each body part on a normal basis. And I had taken a lot of calories to eat that. And the calories and the foods that you eat are ideal for what we do. And anyone sitting in this room, diet phases, everyone should be eating 5 or 6 portionate meals a day. There should be someone that eats 3 meals, I'm not getting big enough, or 4 meals, or you're not getting lean enough. We talked about the smaller portionate meals to keep the metabolism faster. There's so many different ways to approach things, but I feel that there's a scientific approach, and it's kind of a basic program that we need to follow. You need to feed yourself. And now you have intermittent fasting in there. People are asking me about that, or the keto diets, or, oh, I'm a vegan and this and that. I can't relate to that. I was a meat eater. I don't believe in keto. I think it's a quick way to lose body fat, but it's not a long-term thing. You're not going to keto diet, you know, your way into winning the Mr. Olympia, you know, competition all the way through. You need a certain amount of foods to get there.
I know you talked about in the past that there were times where you had to leave the gym 4 times a day. Was that more out of necessity, or you felt like that's just what you had to do to win?
I was in the gym 4 times. I was doing 2 cardio sessions, 2 weight sessions. So I believe in double switch training. You're talking to a guy that was paid to be a bodybuilder. So it was a little easier for me. People that work real jobs or have commitments, family, kids, whatever, it's a little difficult to be a full-time person in the gym. But I would always do fasted cardio. That's how I believe. So I would get up in the morning and I would do cardio, empty stomach. Then I would eat a meal or two. I'd go weight train one session. I'd eat 2 meals in between, take a nap. I'd go back to the gym, train again, then eat 2 more meals, and then I'd go back to the gym. I was a 7-meal-a-day person at my best. So I believe that hitting the metabolism that many times, it worked well for me. Was it a necessity? Probably not. I was just trying to be better than all the rest of the guys, and I was trying to beat Ronnie Coleman, to be honest. So I did all I possibly could because I was paid to do so. And that was the thing about me. I never took advantage of being who I was and paid to be a pro bodybuilder with the contracts, endorsements, that kind of stuff. My younger self, I tell myself to be a little more patient. It takes time. I got my pro card, and then I was standing around the likes of Kevin Levrone, Sean Ray's, Flex Luthers, Ronnie Coleman's, and I realized, shoot, I can't compete with these guys. But you have to be constant. You have to have a pattern of what you do, and you have to be patient. But you have to surround yourself with very positive people too, because that's going to give you the atmosphere. And Steve touched upon the coaches and this and that. I worked with a nutritionist a little early in my career. Do I think it's absolutely necessary? No. But you need someone that, especially in today's, all the new divisions, you need someone that's going to show you the right poses that work well for your body. The ideal thing is everyone has weak points. I had weak points all the way through winning Olympias. I mean, someone asked the question, should I get feedback even though I won? Absolutely, because every time I walked off the Olympia stage, I said, okay, how can I be better to win it next year? Just because I got first didn't mean I was the best at everything. So I knew how to hide weaknesses. I know how to transition. You have to learn how to do that. And someone with your eyes, and I took pictures every week, and I looked at the pictures in the same light, same areas. You have to be able to be real with yourself. And if you're not going to have that set of eyes, take the pictures, you learn from the pictures. The pictures don't lie. So you may see something in the mirror, you don't see the progression, or you may see something, especially your backside, right? You don't see how your back looks all the time. You may look amazing from the front. That was always my case, but when I turned around, I was still fat. So I had to be real with that, okay? What was the bulky question?
I was wondering if you recommend whey protein to get bigger.
Whey protein listen, whey protein's great. I mean, it's something that we all use, but food is your number one source. You got it. I would not recommend taking any supplements until you have a great food plan in place. You're wasting your money. And I mentioned, eating a great breakfast, a good meal prior to training and after, an hour before, hour after. Those are your 3 important meals. You're 14 years old. I didn't start training until 18. And you want to chase the dream of being muscular, right? Do you eat portionate meals in the day? I would suggest 5 to 6 meals in order to get there. But listen, you're young, enjoy yourself while you make this progression. That's the ideal thing, because it wasn't always fun for me. So you asked me about what I wish I had a little more fun being who I was.
Right, sir. This question is for Jay. First, I just want to say I admire your persistence and your consistency and your competing with everything. I'm into working out. I love working out, but it was never my passion. And this question is for you because of what you said. You said when you first got into it, you knew nothing about it. So I got into the gym to get my body right for an acting career, and in the process, I fell in love with bodybuilding. I find myself in the gym 4 to 6 hours a day, but I don't have a trainer. So I guess my question is kind of a loaded question, but for somebody what's your best advice for somebody who knows nothing about bodybuilding, and can I do it alone, or do I need a trainer?
You've been in the gym, you've been training obviously for a number of years now, right? I mean, you look great. How long have you been training? For how long is that though? How many years? Yeah, so I started off, my heroes were Sylvester Stallone and Jean-Claude Van Damme. They weren't bodybuilders, and then I learned about Schwarzenegger. I didn't watch Pumping Iron movie until I actually was a professional. So for me, I looked at those physiques and I thought, okay, that's attainable. I want to look ripped up like that. I didn't think about being, to the level I became. I got way bigger than I ever expected to. But I think to get ready for a show, you have to be around you have to be around the know-all of, okay, to get in shape, you have to diet for 12 or 16 weeks. I mean, some guys diet for 8 weeks. It depends on what your condition is when you start, but I'm always suggestive of at least 12 weeks to prep for a show. I always did 16, and you have to know when to transition down and how lean you need to get. So it's good to have those set of eyes or someone around you that can say, okay, you're ready for a stage, and of course cutting water at the end and learning the poses. That's the hardest part, especially in the divisions you're going to do, whether, you know, listen, the transitions count as much as the poses. We may have 7 or 8 poses, but you have to know the transitions and how to hold the body and how to show, like I said, your strong points that make you stand out on stage. You don't have the muscles don't know how much weight you're pushing. It's time under tension. It's really just getting, you know, it's repetitions and just going through. And if you're seeing results from that, I mean, we sit there and talk about, oh, you need X amount of reps, but there's guys that do 2-3 reps and they can build muscle like that, or females, or like we all have our strong and weak body parts. So you just have to find what works best for you. There's no right or wrong. I think so, yes.
Let me get somebody else. I think you need to hire him for one-on-one training. Yes.
So I know that counting your macros and taking supplements, all these things are important. How important are your paying attention to your or do they pay attention to that?
Honestly, they will pay attention to it. It's very important. Yes.
That's important to measure that.
Yeah, most of you guys track it, right? Micros.
Like for me, I know my macros, but I just follow a diet. I think it's easier for me. Counting macros is kind of like a new thing now in bodybuilding. The old style would be like just have a diet and follow to the T. But today, you know, it's okay if you track your macros, but for some people it gets a little confusing. Yes. Mm-hmm.